parking lot at the Augusta Quarry here. The new and restored Augusta Quarry. I can't remember because I was never, when I was homeless, I never was a bike person. I was never one of the locals that, rode bikes to make sure, they got from, shelter to shelter, or from mom's house to shelter, or shelter back to mom's house, instead of relying on the buses. So I was never like a bike person. Never had a town or city that I was in where it was worth investing in. I always opted for the bus pass. End up freezing my butt off dead of winter in some northern town, or frying my butt in some southern city because the bus never showed up, because the driver never showed up, because they didn't really particularly care for that route number or that route. In any case, so I really don't know if this bike rack is new, and as part of the restoration of the Fort Dickerson Park and the Augusta Quarry here in 25. But it's interesting. One thing, when I think of bikes, besides, locals riding bikes, it used to be homeless. It used to be the homeless. Before everybody got a mother, regardless of their age, everybody had a bike, and I remember, Pasadena shelter, or the day center there's a row of bikes lined up by usually older guys who were on the street. In any case, there have been a number of cities I've walked in, starting in Phoenix. I first noticed it in Phoenix, Arizona, when I lived there as a neighbor. I would walk down the street, and this is my thinking at the time, the old Irish look up, the glass is half full, it's not half empty. I noticed one guy in the neighborhood who had this penchant for walking two bikes through the city every morning, it seemed to me. And I'm thinking, oh, that's really nice. I mean, he's got some buddy of his, met a girl, or, this, that, or the other, and he's walking his bike home to mother, This same sort of motif I saw throughout the country, from Phoenix, Arizona to Hartford, Connecticut. These young boys, usually, always, actually, when I think about it now, always in the dead of summer, walking two bikes down some sidewalk. I couldn't believe it. Then I realized, oh my. The other day, around the park here, I found out where these homeless, pitiful boys and girls have been taking their bikes on the morning walks across America, and they're from the neighborhood bikes they got from a buddy along the road.